Salam alaikum and welcome back once again to the Ottoman campaign in Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts. So these should be the last ships of the US Navy. I've said that a couple of times already, but these were originally damaged in that first big battle we had against the huge American task force. And they got sent into port for repair, and we've now taken that port. And so they teleported out to sea again, and we get to fight them. It's a fresh task force. The dreadnoughts have been sent home to port. These are the two pre-dreadnought battleships, Is No Good and What a Laugh, and the four pseudo-battlecruiser armored cruisers, as well as some torpedo boats. Yeah, I think we got this. That's a lot of destroyers, though. So the secondaries on these guys will get a workout. All right. You guys can lead the charge. Where's the last cruiser? All the way over here. You guys can just sail parallel, actually. Actually, no. I'm gonna have you three join the one in front. There we go. That's more like a formation, almost. "5-kilometer torpedoes. We could do an opening torpedo volley. Probably hit something. And these armored cruisers look very sleek and majestic compared to the older pre-dreadnought battleships. See, we got 6 11-inch guns on each of them. 4 13.5s on the battleship, but also a bunch of 7.5 secondaries, casemates, and a couple turrets. They have been refit. I got rid of the on echelon secondary turret arrangement back here. Just went with one center line. Because the game lied to me when it told me the arcs of fire for the an echelon turrets. But that was fine. It wasn't. That's not the first time the game has lied to me. Let's see if we can encounter the enemy. Not going at full speed. Enemy spotted northeast. Or smoke spotted, but there we go. Their destroyer is spotting my my ships. There they are. It's evening time. And you can drop you down to, let's say, 15 knots. Alright, one destroyer spotted. 2. And there's the cruiser. Alright, can set the main guns on the cruiser. The secondaries on a destroyer. so. The poor little torpedo boats aren't really spotting anything. Something went splash here. That might be a torpedo. There we go. Yeah, they have launched. Get my own torpedoes on our way. If we can. There we go. And one torpedo boat has lost an engine. Let's see if my torpedoes hit anything. That's dubious. Not sure exactly where those enemy destroyers went to. There we go. Enemy smoke. Dissipated. And 92-6 looks to be taking a lot of fire. I was hoping she'd get away. But these guys are getting away, and they've already reloaded. That's impressive. Means you've reloaded too, and you've actually launched. Not sure if you're gonna hit anything. Yeah, you are. Leia goes down. You ate how many torpedoes? 3. My battleships have finally scored some good hits on Dallas. I don't think I'm gonna be needing any torpedo hits on that cruiser. Maybe a little bit counterintuitive, but I want to use my torpedoes for their torpedo boats and destroyers instead. So that poor cruiser is getting gunned down. not quite in torpedo range yet. Yeah, because you're all following 942-6. I don't want to waste torpedoes on you. You're sinking. I don't want to smoke just yet because that could lead me to lose vision on the enemy destroyers. There you go, definitely done now. Aggressive launch is on. Dallas goes down. Let's bring in the guns. Would be nice if this one could make it. Nelson is going for my torpedo boat. Didn't really get any torpedo hits out of that attack though. Yeah, no. There they go. Sank my torpedo boat. But that means they're gonna be coming for my capital ships. Let's assign some targets. Many of you are now out of torpedoes. Babbitt has torpedoes, but they're on reload. These two do have torpedoes ready. detach is no good. Yeah, that's right. I got my own torpedoes. Babbitt sinks. Sinclair is, as I said, not really a threat. But we want to sink it anyway. Put the secondaries to use. Got plenty of 5-inch guns and some 3-inch guns on these not battle cruisers. Secondaries on Bach instead. Except for you, I guess. It's a bit dumb that when I ask the secondaries to fire at the target here, the secondaries on the other side don't just automatically target this one. I think this one is done. Sinclair. Maybe. They're surprisingly survivable. Little destroyers and torpedo boats. Let's see, which one did you target now? Khalif. Box goes down. Yeah, we're good. I think we're good. Yeah. Now we just need to finish them off. There's no danger of anyone taking any torpedoes. Well, battleships are actually fired off all their high explosive main gun ammo. We're now at -11 for evening time. There we go. Eureka. You do have torpedoes. Only 3-kilometer range. Let's keep you steady here. Yeah, we're getting a minus 82 for target small size. And the chance to hit is just not amazing. Let's just screw the cruising speed bonus and just get closer. Not gonna let you survive just because you're kind of worthless. Now you can slow down. Now you have to maneuver. Eureka launched. There we go, some more flooding. Let's just pull alongside them. And have the secondaries get to work. Be a little bit careful here, Khalif. Your ally is in the line of fire. Out of HE for the main guns. You know, that's fine. This task force will probably not see any more battles until the next war. There we go. Secondaries are going to work. And they have no more torpedoes. After that, somehow still afloat. Ended up surrendering. Yeah. It's 7,000 victory points, though. Now, with that done, let's send some ships to port. And let's start designing some armored cruisers. I think. I can split these up. Like so. This task force let's see, which battleships are here? That's the one with Bayezid. Yeah, all of these are being repaired. We're almost at the shipbuilding capacity. Okay, so I want the battleships in Constantinople, so this task force will consist of 2 of the Isa Salebi class dreadnoughts, 1 of the new ones I'm building, and 2 of the pre-dreadnought battleships. And of course 2 of the pseudo battlecruisers. This task force will also get 2 pseudo battlecruisers. And one of the new dreadnoughts I'm building. And instead of the pre-dreadnoughts, they have the Bioseed the first. The super pre-dreadnought. Alright? Yes. Right, let's see how that goes. I think once the ships are repaired and in port, we can start bumping up that research budget again. Still at war, though. United States, do you have any ships? You have a battleship somewhere. It is in a task force. Don't know where it is. It's here. All the way in the Pacific. It's a pre-dreadnought battleship. 9,000 tons. Yeah. Alright, let's set all ships to in being. Saving some money there. No real repairs going on. Just gonna bump this back up to 200%. Gonna take one turn of being at 1%. Anything we're close to getting. Mark 3 10-inch guns in 3 years. It's gonna be like maybe 2 years once we get the tech budget bumped up. We got the Mark 3 7s. We got the Mark 3 5s. We're researching Mark 4 2-inch guns. That's gonna take a while though. We're getting advanced twin turrets. That's a nice one. That's a very nice one. So we're gonna wait 2 months before building those cruisers, I think. What are we getting on cruisers though? Light cruiser. Never mind. It is 2 months later, and we get our peace treaty. Hopefully we don't get dragged into another war with someone, because people seem to be fighting. 1.6 billion. Let's see, what's nice to take here? Brazil is tempting, but that's the entire payout. I don't want to get too involved into other areas of the world, even though that is in the Central Atlantic, which I've already got islands in. So maybe it's not a bad idea. No, let's save that for later. Let's go Liberia? Maybe? Sure. And then just money. I sure don't want their pre-dreadnought battleship. I mean, it's a little bit of income. Now, let's set all of these to limited. There we go. And some of these will have to be on low crew. I'm just going to handle that. Okay. So with much of the Navy on low crew, I could probably put a few more. I don't know. And further expanding the shipyard, maxing out the tech budget, and transport capacity is maxed. I can probably reduce the crew training a little bit as well. Average training trained. Yeah, that's pretty good. Minus 17.3 a month. So that's gonna last a while. Now let's get to designing a ship. And I just realized we have a new dreadnought battleship hull. The towers are not the best though, but that's a nice hull to build on. I do want to wait a little bit before building on this because we're not that far off from getting full oil burners and Mark II 16-inch guns. That might be an option, but we were here to build armored cruisers, and that's what we're gonna do. So we got oh, not that one. We got this one that we built the pseudo battlecruisers on. And we got this one. Can be built up to 14,000 tons. How many towers can you have? Plus 8 base and 3,000 tower spotting. What's the what happened to now where is it? The other armored cruiser I had. This one. What happened to that hull? Did it go obsolete already? That didn't last long. Yeah, that is essentially the battlecruiser hull, just as an armored cruiser. But apparently that hull is no longer available. This one can have the same tower. We're just gonna go with that. I don't think that's the I think something like this is what we got on the the heck is your name? Armored cruiser. Bayezid II. So this is something we've gotten since then. That's fine. Now, size for you guys, 10,000 tons. Not saying I want to make this necessarily treaty compliant, but I want to make it affordable. So how much is one big funnel thing? It's got to have a top speed of 21 knots. That's the only speed requirement, because it's got to keep pace with the dreadnoughts. And I might actually... minus 25 maintenance cost. 1.6. It's not fully built yet. I might actually go multiple steam expansion engine here. And 4 smaller funnels instead of that one big triple funnel. Alright. Now the 10s are still only Mark II. The 9s are Mark III. So we're going with 9s here. This is not going to be an overgunned pseudo battlecruiser. This is going to be a or normal armored cruiser. But wait, 7,000 tons. It's not a big weight difference. It's a pretty big maintenance cost difference, though. Yeah. We're going with the not ideal engine choice to save money. And now I have a lot of barbettes to choose from. Can I put a 9-inch turret on this thing? I can. No, that don't work. Gonna have to move things around a little bit. Yeah, I might have to go with a different barbette here. That was not as nice as I'd envisioned. Are you center line? Yes, you are. Move you a little bit back. Also brings the main belt up to that bulkhead. Come on. Can I bring you further back? It's almost at this bulkhead line here. Oh, yeah. I can close the gap here. Move the secondary tower up a bit. I mean, with Mark III 5-inch guns as secondaries, that should be a decent secondary battery on this as well. There we go. Simple ABXY turret layout. The 5-inch guns do not fit up there. So that's going to be 4-inch guns. Oh. No, of course that doesn't fit. No, it's gonna have to be something smaller, I think. Like this thing. Facing forwards, because that looks better. Let's bring you out. Come on. Yeah, that's a better field of fire. Let's do the same on this one. Nicer. And if there's enough displacement for it, I can put some more 5-inch guns here. And maybe here. Or maybe that'll just be like 2-inch guns or something. Because the 2-inch guns are a lot smaller than the 3-inch guns. Sadly, like, no room on the main tower. Maybe... Yeah, you can have casemates. Nice. Decent range. I'm not sure if I can keep this below 50 million. But we can try. Standard ratio, because you will be protecting the capital ships. Cordite 2, thank you. Flashfire channels, 13.7. These are pretty decent. Yeah. Not below 50 million, but still not very expensive. I'm getting larger task force sizes very soon if I haven't gotten them already. So I don't think I need cramped quarters. Now for armor. This is where we break the bank. We can reduce the range. That's still decent. Still good enough. Reduce the bulkheads. And it is tempting to now go for the turbine engines to save weight. Maintenance now is 1.8 monthly. But that's a lot better than 2.9. So yeah, I think we're keeping the the multiple expansion engines. Standard shell size, yeah. Turrets need armor. Armor is heavy. Yeah. Alright, do I want to mess about with the calibers on the main guns? I think they're mostly fine, the way they are. Ship is a bit overweight. I can drop these 4-inch turrets. And put some 2-inch guns here. Just to reduce the number of different gun sizes on the ship. It's heavier, of course it is. But slightly better. I don't want to reduce the beam too much. I know you keep telling me in the comments that reducing the beam reduces the engine weight and stuff. I'm aware, but it also a -1 beam doesn't do too much. But you get minus base accuracy and more accuracy penalties for things, as well as more gun damage and stuff. So destroyers and torpedo boats, yes, you don't care about accuracy with torpedoes anyway, but on capital ships and armored cruisers, maybe not. Would be nice to make these bigger, but no, that just don't work. What can I do to make this not overweight? I mean, I can drop the range down more, but They need to be able to follow the capital ships wherever they're going. So increased HE on the secondaries. I'm gonna reduce the main belts. Not like too keen on that, but ideally they will not be focused by big guns, because the enemy big guns will be on my destroyers closing in on them, or on the battleships. And these will just hang back and shoot at enemy destroyers closing in. That's kind of the plan with them. So I want to build 4. It's going to cost me 18.4 million a month. A little bit expensive. They're going to be in Constantinople and Lisbon. Constantinople first. And there we go. Yes. Both of these new battleships are also being built in Constantinople. One of them will get moved to Lisbon. And this one needs a name, because apparently the ship name file has run out. Alright, we're gonna go a couple more months. Full oil burners. That's nice. Minus 7.5 maintenance cost is definitely nice. I need that. And Mark II 6-inch guns in 7 months. Also, 20-inch torpedoes in 2. 4-bladed torpedo propellers in 3. So we can build some decent destroyers. Or refit the ones we have with better torpedoes. Also, how is Spain able to afford these ships? It's not a big navy, but it's a pretty modern navy. You can tell by the fact that they have a battle cruiser. When they have a GDP of nothing and a growth that is in minus 12%. Yeah. That's just an AI bonus, I guess. We're up to growing by 9.5 again, which is nice. That means the monthly deficit is going down each month. No thank you, France. Why? I don't care about Spain. Okay, we got the full oil burners. Quality control, advanced towers. Wonder if we actually got any new nice battleship towers for that dreadnought and the Mark II 16s. So I had to prioritize those just to get them in time. Now, let's take a look at that dreadnought hull. Because no, wait, we're building, because we're building these two and the cruisers. Now we can design it anyway. Let's go. Alright. Max optimal speed is 22.5. We're gonna go 21. 29,500 tons. Full bulkheads. Let's see, did we actually get any nice new towers? Oh yeah, here they are. 5,000. 8.5 base, or 9 base. 20 long range, 17 long range. This one is better night vision though, 40 versus 37. Because typically the further left you go, the more advanced the tower. That's that one. That's that one. This one does have slightly better like gun aiming stats though, and only 300 meters less spotting range. So might go with that one. And then this as the secondary tower. Yeah, they're about the same height. Now we can go with oil 1. To fuel our turbines. That's a lot of engine efficiency. We might be able to, well, we will be able to get away with smaller funnels. Plus 7 damage control is pretty nice. That's a nice bonus. It only fits there though, so the second funnel will have to be... well, that's much smaller. That's also much smaller. That's also much smaller. Come on. Where's one that is a similar size? But not too big. That one? Might have to just go with the tall funnel on the, no. That's a lot shorter. If I space them out, do they fit? No. Oops, didn't mean to remove you there. Because how they look is, of course, also a very important consideration. I'll just have to be like this then, with the second funnel a little bit shorter, which isn't a bad look, but still. Anyway, on to like the guns and stuff. That's pretty good range. Might be able to do minimum range on this. We get the 16 Mark IIs. Still not the biggest guns in the fleet. That honor belongs to the Venerable Bayezid the First. I'm gonna move you back a bit. And we're gonna place a barbette here. Center line, yes. And you fit. I wasn't able to save weight and not use a barbette for the X turret by placing it here because the Y turret was just still too tall. Does that work? That's tiny. Yeah, no, that's too tiny. But I want one that is, like, not too tall. How's that? 113 tons. 117. This huge chonker of a barbette is lighter than that one. Sadly, it's kind of too wide, so it looks funny. I'm gonna have to use one more of these. Starboard. Come on, can you be central line? Maybe? There we go. 16s. Big guns. Now let's see what we can do to build the rest of the ship. There we go. Need barbette protection, need survivability things. Because this is an expensive investment. Increased AP. Port at 2, TNT 1. That brings us to a flash fire chance of 37.4. That's pretty bad, actually. That is pretty bad. But I can't 24.7, but that really cuts into things. Go stereoscopic. Alright. I was hoping to maybe do I not have those tall secondary gun barbettes yet? Maybe like plonk a secondary between the B turret and the main tower, but that apparently will not happen. We're going to be moving these back a little bit. That brings a lot of like bow area, not protected by the main belt, but we'll just have to deal with that. I'd like to, of course, have a bunch of casemate gun secondaries, but we'll see. Deck armor. We're just gonna be cheesy and not worry about deck armor. Because I know it doesn't matter. You don't take deck hits anyway. We got 1,500 tons left to play with. I do want to keep the 16s though. Not go down to 15s. It's kind of funny that this huge funnel is actually much lighter than that one. I could save weight and go with a much lighter funnel, but that would just look weird. What if I do 2 lighter funnels? Yeah. I guess that works. Still plenty of engine efficiency. Still decent range. We're missing out on the damage control, but I guess it doesn't really matter that much. Okay, these are 35s. That's a weird now 40. AP range of 20 kilometers. And some more accuracy. I think that's the play for the big guns. 7-inch guns are Mark III. Now we are overweight. We can drop the ones like furthest to the front. Or go with 6s instead of 7s. I'm not sure about that though. I'm not sure about that. And I still need armor as well. Now we're 500 tons overweight. Which is of course bad because then it can't be saved. What's our turning radius? 889 versus 806. I mean, still, it's like, okay, there we go. Unbalanced rudder. That did a lot. Now I can reduce this down to hydraulic. Which is quite a bit lighter. It doesn't add as many ship flaws. Now what else can I do to save weight? I can drop the radio. But that just feels wrong if I'm intending these to be the flagships of task forces. I can do that. That'll save some weight. Secondary guns. I like some of those secondary guns, yes. I think we're just gonna do 6-inch secondaries instead of 7s. And the weight savings from reducing caliber can be used for increasing barrel length, maybe? Uh, 6-inch guns will have to be 6.1s. In fact, these are 50 in length. Yeah, that didn't add too much. So these now have the same range as the 7-inch guns had. And I guess they fire a bit faster. No, they're slower, but yeah, they're actually slower. 18.2 versus 17.3. How does that work? Let's do weight comparisons. 46, 37. I mean, that's not a huge weight difference, is it? Ammo weight, 48, 43. Are we sure we just want to do this instead? Because that seems like a slightly better idea. Do I want to have them like facing back? Yeah, that's probably a good idea actually. Because they're going to be like if torpedo boats and destroyers are chasing. There we go. No longer overweight. Slightly worse angles on the Y turret, but it's fine. It's fine. That can be saved. Could I put some more tiny secondaries on it if I fiddled around a lot? Maybe, I'm sure. But I think this is good enough. Casemates and turrets all have armor. A lot more armor on the 6.1s, but the game says no. 5.7 is all you get on these turrets. Well, it's not a mighty secondary armament, but it is something. It's enough to dissuade some hostile torpedo boats or something. That's a decent. First super dreadnought of the Navy. 16-inch guns. Not quite the speed you... Nah. Plenty of super dreadnoughts had 21 knot speed. It's good enough. Nothing wrong with that. It's very, very sleek. Very slim. Looks kind of battlecruiser-esque, if you ask me. Yeah, it's good enough. But of course, I can't start building these until in 7 months, when these two are finished. Because, well, I've only got 20,000 tons of free shipbuilding capacity, and these weigh close to 30,000 tons. Yeah. Maybe I could just cancel these and build the new ones instead. Because these are not like huge upgrades over my existing dreadnoughts. Okay, I get 2 more guns and they're slightly bigger, but... Now let's keep them in construction. They're almost done. And building a new battleship is a very lengthy process. 19 months for these. Yeah. But that's it for this time. We've designed a couple new ships that will form the basis of the Navy for a little while longer. And I will be with you again once we start a new war. It looks like Germany is not doing too hot. Losing Western Poland, they've already lost most of actual Germany. They got Tsingtao though. What's their GDP? 44 billion. Yeah, they're kind of getting stomped right now. We're doing good though. 72 billion. That... Are we third in GDP? Fourth, after the US. That's not too bad for the Ottoman Empire. Goodbye, and take care.